Okay, have you ever looked at two things that are basically the same, but one costs a fortune and the other is, well, cheap? What's going on there? Today, we're diving into the alchemy of perceived value, that little bit of magic that turns something ordinary into something extraordinary. Let's get real specific here. Think about a Gucci handbag versus one you'd find at Target. The Gucci one can easily cost 100 times more. 100 times. So what are you actually buying for all that extra money? Is it really 100 times better?
Because when you boil it right down, their job is exactly the same. They're both probably made of leather, and they both hold your stuff. So if they do the same thing, where in the world does that massive price difference come from? Well, the secret, it isn't in the bag itself. It's in our heads.
And to really wrap your head around this, we have to look at one of the oldest tricks in the book, an illusion we've all been a part of for thousands of years. And it all revolves around one shiny yellow metal. Now, think about this for a second. Gold isn't actually more useful than a plain old rock, right? You can't eat it. You can't build a house with it. Its value comes from one simple fact. We all just decided it's valuable. We agreed on the story that because it's rare and pretty, it's worth a ton. So value isn't a real physical thing. It's a story we tell ourselves. And that brings us to the big idea here. Perceived value. It's not about what something can do. It's about what we believe it's worth. If a company can make us believe their story, believe in their brand, their design, their status, then their product literally becomes more valuable in our minds. And that belief is what drives everything from luxury cars to, you guessed it, designer handbags. So how does a fuzzy idea like perception turn into billions of dollars in actual profit? Well, let's look at an absolute master of this game. It's a case study so good, a lot of us are probably holding it in our hands or have it in our pockets right now. Yup, the iPhone. It is the perfect modern example. Apple wasn't just selling you a phone, were they? No way. They sold you a piece of the future. They built this incredible story around being innovative, creative, and cool. We didn't just buy a device, we bought into what owning that device said about us. And we paid a huge premium for it, happily. So how did they pull it off? It was really a masterclass. First, the design was totally revolutionary. It looked like nothing else. The marketing was just brilliant, creating this insane desire. The brand story was all about thinking different, being a rebel. And then the killer move, the ecosystem, locked you in. Your apps, your music, everything was connected. Each piece made the others stronger, building this untouchable mountain of perceived worth. Okay, so what's the big lesson here? What's the one thing you absolutely have to remember from all this? If you forget everything else, just remember this one simple formula. It's the key to the whole thing. And here it is. If you can create value, even if that value isn't technically real, tangible, you can make an incredible amount of money. Practical, functional value will only get you so far. The real money, the real alchemy, is in creating value from a story, a brand, an idea. If you can do that, you can basically print your own money. Which brings us right back to where we started. That 100x price difference between the Target bag and the Gucci bag? Now it makes sense, right? It was never about the quality of the leather being 100 times better. It's the price you pay for a century of storytelling, marketing, and perfectly crafted perceived value. Look, understanding this is one thing, but using it, that's where the magic really happens. And this isn't just for some giant company. This is a tool that you can actually apply in your own life, starting today. So I'm going to leave you with a question. Now that you know the secret, how are you going to use this alchemy in your job, on your side hustle, or even just in how you pitch your ideas to people? How are you going to build a story that creates massive perceived value? How are you going to make what you do not just useful, but completely unforgettable? If you're ready to really dig in and learn the steps to build this kind of value for yourself, make sure you subscribe for more explainers just like this one. We'll get into the real strategies you can use to turn your own ideas into gold. Thanks so much for watching.